What is up, guys? Got a fun deck for you today. Today's deck is Squirtle Movement. So why are we playing Squirtle Movement? Well, Milva got a rework and is actually really strong now. I don't think it's anything busted or whatever because you have to play it with the specific decks, specific focus, and to get a whole lot of value, it does need to be played in a heavy engine deck or over a long round. So I think it's decently balanced. We'll see if this deck or any similar types of decks take off, and they maybe will adjust it a bit. But in the meantime, it's very strong. You can get well over 20 points with it. Really crazy. Milena also got a slight buff, so she's a little bit harder to remove now. And just really great synergies with this deck. Feels a little bit better to play here. Then there was also Dragoons, which I really wanted to fit in. Well, not Dragon, Dragoon. There we go. Really nice little buff. It's just we don't really need to play a whole lot of 4Ps, and I'd rather play Matrons, and we need to play Megascopes because of Golden Kekker. So they couldn't really just fit them in, but it is a consideration. Anyways, you guys are going to know what most of these cards are going to do. What's your game plan? You just want really long rounds, right? If you win round 1, if you have a long round 2, just go for the 2-0. If not, go to round 3, where, again, you're just going to have a lot because this deck can shell out a lot of points. You can easily get over 100 if you set up. So just some kind of specific considerations. I went Ring of Favor here because this deck sometimes doesn't always have the best round 1, and we really would like round control so we don't get all our stuff bled out and then go into a short round 3 because we're just not going to have the points, and if our opponent is set up for a short round 3, that's just an easy loss. So Ring of Favor can really help us take the round, and the use of it is when you start getting to about 5 cards left in hand, 4 cards left in hand, maybe even going lower if you're really fighting over round 1, Ring of Favor is going to come out playing for a lot of points, 13, 15. And then at that point, your adrenaline's going to start kicking in with your Cat Witchers and your Cat Witcher Mentors. And so it'll just probably overwhelm your opponent. Is really handy. The other thing in here, so this deck was inspired by Shinmiri, so definitely go check out his VOD for that if you guys would like to see that in action, and just credit for the idea. Did change up a couple things, but a carryover from that was I did Alyssa Henson here just for the chance to maybe replay, a Royal Decree or a Golden Kekker, maybe even Frog Mating Season. Just went through that in, but you definitely, if there's a other 8P you'd rather play, go for it. I half the time just mulligan her. It's just kind of a filler slot just for the potential to play it. And then something that I added in mine compared was I just went Brehen with this leader. It's just really nice. It's a good finisher. The original version didn't have a whole lot of finishers, so I just wanted to throw it in. And honestly, more often than not, you're getting really good value with it and can really set them up for some great plays. Just other thing to know, I guess if you're new to this deck and you don't know, one of the big combos is play your Cat Witcher Mentors on the left side of your row, and then when you play Gaten on it, it's going to move the Cat Witcher Mentors first, and then when all the other cards move in behind it, they're getting boosted off of it. Really, really strong combo. And Milva's proccing the entire time with that. And then the last thing, Frog Mating Season, just in case you're wondering why that's here, it's because the frogs have this movement. That's 4 extra movement points that are going to get boosted by your sentries. They're going to boost Milva. They can proc your Cat Witcher Mentors. Just really good. And not really point slammy, but you get some nice little points on top. So I think that kind of gives you a good overview of the deck. Everything else should be pretty self-explanatory. And let's hop into some games.
Interests, where they lie, this alone.
Okay, matchup here. We have Inspired Zeal. Be a little bit curious to see what Northern Realms version this will be. Looking at mulligans, we don't really want Cat Witcher Mentors, or at least 2 of them. That's kind of saving them for the round where we're going all in. Alright, pretty decent hand. At the same time, though, it can be a little bit awkward if you are trying to save your golds, which is preferable, but the benefit of a Siri Nova Golden Kekker deck is, you have a lot of golds to kind of spend because of the provision distribution, so it doesn't hurt you as much. the huge benefit of that. So if we have to play the castle there to just try and get a Cat Witcher, it won't be the end of the world. But if we are trying to save aspects of this, this is a very awkward hand in that regard. And looks like a siege deck, or at least a siege component. That could also make this round very hard to win. But we're going to at least need to compete it and try and see if we can maybe force a pass, because huge thing with if it's a full-on siege deck is you don't want them going first. Like in a round, like if they take one, you know, round 1 early, and then they have 9-10 cards going into round 2 and they get to play siege first, you're probably already losing that game. And yeah, this is gonna look really hard to stay up. They got a lot of armor to deny our movement engines. Chololo is basically gonna guarantee the round. But we'll fight it out a bit. We'll play some cards. At the very least, if we can push it where even if he takes the round, you know, he doesn't have enough cards, or he's like, I'm not doing round 2, you know, I don't have enough cards in my hand, I'm going to go to round 3, then all of a sudden advantage swings over to us, because with engines, you want to go first, you want to get them developing, kind of engine versus engine decks. Whoever goes first in the round that could decide the game is really set up to win. It's kind of their game to lose. It's unfortunate we lost that, because we could have played a Frog Mating Season for some decent points. This will get Roach out, get some engines going, and Saboteur actually looks really good. Yeah, it was a good call to do. Just go and delete his point per turn engine. It'll keep Chololo from getting too many points, so he's already going to play for a lot. And look at that, we're keeping up in points. Again, you gotta realize that the points that are reflected on his side aren't entirely true, because he's got 7 just waiting to be clicked, and then he's also got a stratagem. But we're keeping it close, all things considered. And the more we can play cards and kind of get the round to tick down, the better we'll be for it. Because then Ring of Favor, we can all of a sudden slam that out and maybe shoot ahead and kind of scare them. Reinforced Trebuchet. Gotta say, you don't see that too much, just played on its own. Really reaffirms, though, this is 100% just a siege deck. So I'm surprised he didn't go stockpile. I think if you're going full on siege, there's very few reasons not to go stockpile. It's really good deck. I guess so. Inspired Zeal, that would indicate probably dueling units, and just wants kind of access to that. But especially if we see a Henselt come out, which spoiler we do, yeah, it really would hurt our opponent's chances of having, because stockpile is way better in a long run. Like, you get a bunch of engines down on a row. Every time you're using a leader charge, it is insane value. And one thing I'd really like them to do, and it would be so incredible, is if you could pick where the volunteers would spawn, because volunteers spawning on the row kind of negate some of the effects of wanting to heavily stack a row to make use of it. And it might just be a balancing thing. Could be very intentional, but that's something I would like to see. Really help that deck. But I could see maybe there's a specific case why they don't want that, because it provides a limiting factor. I'm gonna go and use Ring of Favor. It's better if we get like 13, 15 for it, but 11 is certainly not bad. It keeps us within range where he could pass here and we can do like a Siri Nova take. But hey, I mean, we've gotten 2 leader charges out of him and a dueling unit, so I think trades are going all right here, all things considered. I know provision-wise we've kind of played some golds, but again, our deck is going to play a little bit different in that regard. But something, so from like a perspective of like your approach in this, it is a scary situation when it seems he's going to take round 1. Because the 2-0 is very imminent, but we were able to, and what again you should do, and I've mentioned, just try and push as much as you can into round 1 to shorten his round 2. Because with our extra card and having more points on leader if we need it, we would probably be able to get out of it if he doesn't get a long round 2. But I think with that, the point gap's just too much. I could play something, but if he passed, I think it'd be very difficult and probably be overcommitting to get the points down. Anything short of like full leader, having to use Golden Kekker. Okay, we need some more engines here. So we're definitely going to hit the mulligans. Putting that one back, because with Golden Kekker I'm guaranteed it, so not super ideal, but we should be able to get off Golden Kekker. Anyways, he passes. It's probably a mistake, because we get nice little carryover, uncontested, and now we're going first. So I really think our opponent messed up. I think 7 is enough. If he has his Hensel, if he has his Siege, I think it's enough. Especially because his are going to be a little bit more immediate than mine. In terms of like seeing full axis. Unless I get really good pulls off of Golden Kekker. But now that I'm going first and he's going to be on the back foot, meaning because his is really damage focused, but I'm just going to swarm too many things for him to adequately control. And I just don't think he'll be able to keep up in points then, because all my stuff's going to stick now. Whereas if he goes Siege first, all of a sudden he can get a bunch of Siege units on the board, and basically every unit I play he has a very good chance of deleting. Gonna go ahead and protect this one. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a boiling oil. So really want to keep it alive, or at least to survive. One thing I was scared about is an Onsace. Yep, there's the Siege. With playing that, I was a little bit scared that that would get dueled, but not the worst trade ever. And we're just getting our engines down ASAP. Should just go complete engines. Should do another Cat Witcher here, because we really want the movement for Milva, just to keep skyrocketing in points. And then of course when they hit Adrenaline, they're just really disgusting. So again, boiling oil is a huge concern here. Doesn't seem like he has it, but yeah, there's a Hensel. Really just think stockpile would have been the call here. But it is a little scary. Like when all this was dropping down, it was I was getting pretty scared. That even though he went second, he still might be able to just get enough engines down between. Oh my gosh, this snipe. You hate to see it. That's scary. But yeah, this is the moment where you're like, okay, this game might not be super guaranteed. Because with Siege getting a lot down, and then Rafford's Vengeance being able to keep pulling additional units down, not looking too good. I went ahead and played Matron because I want to keep the Cat Witchers protected as possible. But we're gonna need to get Milva down soon. And unless he gets crew pockets, Milva should be able to just, like his 3 damage off a battering ram, see it's going to hit the shield here if he uses it, and then it's just going to hit Milva, which she's an immune unit, can't be impacted, so it's not going onto any of our engines. So it keeps that 3 damage away from stuff that could be pretty scary for it. Okay, Heat Wave. You know, for the Heat Wave targets he's going to have, it's not the absolute worst. Gets that 3 damage onto stuff that's a little bit more impactful and can hopefully remove an engine. So, pretty decent. But yeah. our stuff's sticking. We're getting a lot of movement. It's going to be a good time now. So looking at sequencing here, we have a matron and a treant boar that we really want to get going. Possibly necromancy to get another sentry out, but I have a feeling he's going to try and take our sentry out. So I'm kind of saving it for when that gets removed, and then I can just resurrect it, because we're really going to want the sentry out, like always having a sentry out. Gonna go and just shut off that engine, because it'd be pretty easy for him to go and remove that sentry with that 2 damage coming out, and then maybe he has something to ping. Another consideration would be there is just because we already have a sentry in graveyard, just go ahead and pull it out so we have 2 of them. There's no way he's removing both. So, possible misplay, something to consider. Next one we should go here is definitely, forget what I did, but I would imagine we definitely need a necromancy at this point. And you're going to see Milva just tanks the shot. And get the other sentry out. If not, go in matron, and then we're going to go mentor, and then finish with Gaten. And points are really close here. Match is still kind of up in the air. I just know our last little combo sequence is really strong. And if he just keeps kind of playing bronze engines, I think we'll get him in that regard. Okay, what's... I guess because I have the adrenaline here and I have 3 movement going back, I guess that's the concern. Or not the concern, the thought. Just go ahead and get that. It'll be worth a little bit more than, I guess, a matron. Because, yeah, that was 3 versus 2 that matron would get. So, good thinking. Alright, we lost sentry. So I guess we necromancy sentry. Then I suppose we're just going, I guess, the other mentor, then matron, and then Gaten. Alright, hopefully we snipe the ballista up front. Very nice. That's gonna be huge. It's also unfortunate we don't have Brehen instead of that, like, matron, because then we could do an easy knockout on Raffords or Hensel back there. Okay, we should play, I guess, the mentor back row. Just get the movement points going for that. And here, make sure you put the mentor down before you move the treant boar, so you'll get that extra point. Because depending on what he has now, it could really come down to every point matters. But I really think our last combo might just be too much for him, because he's just kind of playing bronze engines now, and they're going to get really diminished value, whereas we're going to have a lot of point slam coming in. Yeah, at the end of our turn, I think the point gaps are just getting increasingly more and more, so... Something to consider there, would it be better to have played that back row to try and maximize units on the back row? Because I always forget with some of these, because I know some of them, they don't have to move to still do the damage. And I don't know with Gaten, like, does it just count for all the ones on the row and then damages? Or is it for all the ones that move? Because just playing spaces on each row would matter a lot. But this combo is going to be really nice. We'll move Treant Boar back and one of the Witchers. And we're ready to shell out a lot of points. Yep. Move that one back. Probably going to go over 100 points here. Oh yeah, look at the Mentors and Milva. Oh my goodness. Absolutely clapped. Yeah, that's satisfied. It's one of the... I love movement engines because you just got all this animation going on. The kind of synergies are really cool. Very fun engine deck to play. A lot of passive points too, where you don't have to rely on clicking it in the round. So like you could like, if you get a tempo pass, you could just pass and they're still gonna like generate points for you. That was awesome though. Let's get ready to move into the next one. Okay, Jackpot. Very interesting. Wonder... I mean, I guess besides Bounty, the only other Syndicate change was with Reuven's Treasure, but I'd imagine you want to play that in line pockets. Pretty decent little hand here. We have a lot of engines we can play.
You take the left, and I'll take the right.
Well, I mean, I think we want to contest round one. Be really nice to just go and take it from them. So this could be a move. Yeah, I think we'll go ahead and do it. I think we can sacrifice one leader charge. I don't really want to be bled here, so that's why we're kind of really using leader charge, going ahead and slapping down Milva. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah, this guy isn't playing around. Probably a massive overcommit, but we will see. Probably want to go Sentry next. I'd imagine would be the sequencing. Save that Cat Witcher. Okay, so this is a collusion deck probably. Really gotta be mindful. With the little bit of removal we have, if we can try and control some of those tags when it comes into either round 2 or round 3. Matron would be my next call here. Play it back row, so it'll keep the Witcher alive. Interesting.
The best feathers are from hens.
No, I guess I can see playing it front row because when the Witcher bounces up to the... No, because it would move before the Witcher would go. Yeah, I don't know what's the deal with that. Ooh, that sucked. Wasn't too happy about that. So Treant Boar's pretty decent here. Siri Nova. I think I'm gonna say, yeah, this is a misplay. I don't know why I would do that. Maybe just hoping with tempo and dog coming out soon, hopefully. You know, who knows where that pup's at. But yeah, I think I probably would have gone Treant Boar there to try and see if we can get a pass. And then save Siri Nova for when he passes if she can get us item points. Okay, well there's Reuven's Treasure. A lot of over profit there. He should have spent. yeah, we definitely need to play. We're only 5 points. Well, I guess with bleeding 7 points down. But Ring of Favor will definitely make up for that. And we should have a dog coming out really soon. And we're really pushing a win on even here. But yeah, having that Treant board going this whole time would have been preferable. I think was probably the play over it. I guess maybe I was thinking of saving some engines till later. And that's definitely what I'm doing with that other Cat Witcher.
The docks! The docks! Which way to the docks? Are you fucking kidding
I don't know.
me?
I think I should have just passed and let the dog come out. Oh, but he didn't. Okay. Man, where is he? He's not wanting to do his job today. Holy cow. Again, I think Cat Witcher's something you just want to save. Just do Treant Boar. Yeah, he's going to pop out now. I guarantee it. Yeah, there he is. Here he comes. So yeah, I would say that's a slight misplay on my part. I think Cat Witcher is more valuable than the Treant Boar. But oh well. We get the win on even. We have Golden Kekker, so we can really set up for a 2-0 here. We have carryover. Shouldn't be a reason why we don't go for it. Put the Mentor back, because I would just probably prefer to draw off of it with Royal Decree. But then again, just keeping it in hand, I don't know. I guess I was probably fishing for a Sentry, trying to see exactly what my sequencing was there for. But then I end up going for a Treant Boar off of that. Maybe I'm just trying to test the waters with exactly what his deck was. But yeah, watching this back, it's a little bit like, what am I doing? I think maybe a better call would just be to keep that Mentor and just go straight into Golden Kekker, just get a bunch of engines down and push for the 2-0. Okay, Horson Jr. Okay, this has actually really worked out because this is easy pass. You know, we traded to one of our medium tier cards against one of his best cards, if not his best card, and he's still gonna lose a card. Yeah, we're taking that pass. So now we have card advantage. We have a little bit longer round, so it's even better for movement engines.
Only one of us will still stay by the end of the day.
But yeah, I'm guessing that's just what my game plan was. I guess I decided don't play into this. Hand's not set up enough to really get a solid 2-0, and then I'm really screwed into short round 3. So play something with some decent tempo, see what he plays, and then maybe decide from there what to go with. So it ended up working out. I need to make sure I put one of these Megascopes back because... Oh no, we still have Castle in. Never mind. Yeah, we want to keep Castle. This is pretty good. Yeah, good thing I put Frogmaiden Season back as well, so we're guaranteed that. This is probably going to be a movement. That could absolutely destroy us. Depending on his deck setup. Good thing we don't have to use a leader. And we want a unit down before we Golden Kekker because of Frogmaiden Season. So we have 2 units down. So next play after this should be Golden Kekker. But you can see, compared to the first game, see how we didn't go first here? And so now I have to sit there and respond to my opponent's plays of things I want to shut down, and I'm not developing engines. And it's just diminishing the points I could have. So there's kind of a case in point of how you really want to set yourself up when you're playing engines. Yeah, that's not the best it, is it? And doing Frogmaiden Season onto Mentor isn't super ideal. Yeah, even going for another mentor here, something to consider. But I think we want to do just cat witchers, so then because they'll be better off megascopes. Oh, go ahead and go for the mentor. It's understandable, but I think for the sake of megascopes, should have gone with cat witcher. But it's going to give us a whole lot of points with the Gain combo, and then we do have a necromancy to pull out a cat witcher, so this line also works. Alright, bye bye frogs.
Has no fear of fire.
Okay, really should go necromancy here. Dryad Matron isn't doing anything. Please tell me I don't like misplay again. I mean, I guess I can move Matron and it'll work. Move with Milena to set up a Matron, but really just need to go with a Cat Witcher. Or a Sentry, I guess you could do that too. Okay, good. Good to know watching this back that I'm not making every mistake possible.
Humans are scum. I prefer elves, dwarves, pixies even.
Now, looking at this, what I would probably consider would be do Mentor, and then you could move Cat Witcher back, move forward, but I guess we do need to get Megascopes going so they can at least get Adrenaline Cat Witchers out before it's too late. So there's two lines you could go with. And yeah, Milena getting really good value. You can just keep setting us up because we want to hit the units in the front and then activate our Cat Witcher Mentors. So really good little trick.
Hey, where do you think you're going?
Interesting card. Even though our opponent is ahead in points right now, I'm not super concerned when I'm seeing this board state because we're getting a lot of engines down and it doesn't seem like he has a whole lot. Because he kind of overcommitted round one and still lost it. What? Why would you... I'd probably need to see what his C's was on that again, but that's kind of interesting. Go ahead and just knock that out. Makes sense. Don't deal with any extra coins he could get. It seems like a win already right now. Yeah. We're not even getting to the Gaten combo, and we have another Mentor. Which, 3 Mentors with Gaten is going to be sweet. And we have Castle on the board too as well, so let's get movement. Okay, well, that was an easy win. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed.